anybody on this call is not familiar with the SMART, S-M-A-R-T, methodology for goal setting, save this, Google it, look into it, and do it. If you are already familiar with that, my apologies, we're going to recap it. But any goal that you set for yourself that is something that you want to achieve and you want to hold near and dear, I heartily advise you to utilize this methodology, because this methodology ensures that it is something that can be achieved and that you can know once it's been achieved. So a non-SMART goal is, in 2025, I want to be healthier. How do we know if I've achieved that? What type of health are we talking about? What are the metrics? The one thing I got right was 2025. You know, it's time bound. But everything else, like, that's too vague, that's too ambiguous. Okay, we've got some smart lovers in here. So again, this, if this is not something that had been on your radar, or maybe it was, like maybe you did it back in school, but it's like, let's dust it off and pull it back up. SMART. It needs to be specific and easy to understand. It needs to be narrow. So like, usually these goals are what we use to get you to your ultimate achievement. So, you know, you could have a SMART goal around retirement, but probably there's going to be quite a few steps leading up to that. And so you want it to be very specific. And I recommend, as we do that why exercise and you think about your future life, I recommend finding something that is a small first stepping stone to that is imminently achievable. Oh, will you go back? Oh, well, you know, you're fine. But that is highly specific. You know what it is. So here's the example. I have $5,000 saved in an emergency fund by the end of the year, so I won't have to use credit cards if the unexpected happens. I will open a savings account next week, deposit my tax refund. I will then set aside $500 per month for the next 7 months. So it's highly specific. It is time bound. You know when it ends. You know if you have achieved it or not. It is related. So that R in there is, it needs to relate to your goals. That related thing is, I won't have to use credit cards if the unexpected happens. Remember how we talked about safety is what we're all going for? Tying that in to where you can feel safe is going to be the thing that lets you, that is the relevant piece of it. We need this to stay something that is tied in there that actually is affirming, feels good, and relates to that thing that we care about. Again, budgeting in a vacuum or doing anything in a vacuum, who cares? Why would I just stop? Why would I just spend less money for the sake of spending less money? I'm not. I'm spending less money so I can retire and perfect my sourdough recipe. It's an earnest, yearning goal of mine. So these all, and it needs to be achievable. Again, anything that you're doing in the next couple of weeks as we start to talk about these things, we are trying to set this up to be a system that you can win at. And it needs to not be so hard that it's punishing. This needs to be something that you can definitely do. And we need to be prepared if there are setbacks and prepared for our plan for that piece. And again, it needs to be measurable. You know, if you've done it, it needs to be time bound. It needs to have an end date.